Hi everybody, this is Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations, and I wanted to come to you today with a video on how I made these two cards using the Florentine Filigree bundle, the stamp set, and the die. I left this die in this piece of paper for a reason. I'll show you that in a minute. So, I wanted to show that too. Once you set up your Stamparatus, you can easily sit and mass produce the cards and come back again. You don't have to do them all in one sitting. But I made this card, and then a couple days later I made this one, but I made a template to start. So to make the template, what I did is I ran my die through my Big Shot on watercolor cardstock, our watercolor cardstock that's in our catalog. Okay. And I made this because it's a little bit of a deeper well when you put your stamp in and line it up on your Stamparatus, which I'll show you in just a moment. Okay, to get this die to cut, some of my customers have bought it and a couple have asked questions. To get this die to cut nicely, and that's why it's still sitting in that piece of paper, I use my precision base plate, which is on page 221 of your catalog. Let me fix my lighting, sorry. There we go. Is that better? On the precision base plate. Okay, and I use that on top of my magnetic platform, and it works really well for those really intricate cuts. So for example, I use that to cut this, and I use that to cut this. So I ran it through my Big Shot on my precision base plate. I don't know if you can see, but all these have cut out. So all I have to do is either get my Big Shot die brush or poke, but they're all just going to pop out nicely, which is why I say the precision base plate. All right, so I think that's all of them. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull that off. Oh, I missed the little ends, but that's okay. But see how nice it cut out? So with this one, I cut it out of what's going to be my card base, and that's how I made this card. And on this one, I cut out a frame. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple different ways, but I have that done, and that's out of Coastal Cabana. I really like the combination of the Coastal Cabana and the lovely lipstick. So we'll get back to that in just a moment. The other thing I do for prep, when I'm using this set, I take a piece of Whisper White and I just cut it in half. So I have two pieces that are 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Okay. Some people might say, oh, that wastes paper, but you know what? When I cut out the piece that I want, I still have all the small edges to use for sentiment stamps. So I don't consider it a waste, and I find it a little easier to work with. All right. The other thing I do for prep, and like I said, now that this is done, I don't have to do it again. So I'm going to move my template over. So the other thing I did for prep is I took a piece of watercolor cardstock and one of my square dies, and I cut a square. Okay. And then I took my ruler and marked it and gave myself 4 equal pieces. All right. And then you're going to take these 4 pieces and you're going to adhere them together. Why are we doing this? Well, I want to make a corner. So I would adhere them together with a nice strong adhesive. Use the Terran tape, use your Tombow liquid glue, anything that's going to be nice and strong and sturdy. I'm just going to use my ATG adhesive for right now. Only it broke. So let me reload that and I'll be right back. All right, I have my adhesive on these pieces. Let's go ahead and just stick them together. And we're just going to create a corner. So that way when we lay our cardstock, our Whisper White, in our Stamparatus, we know we have a good place to go back to. All right, so there's my corner. Wonderful. Okay, so now let me go ahead and get my Stamparatus out. So we've got our 2 plates. So I'm going to set my 1 plate up first. All right, and I'm going to build myself my corner. All right, so I'm going to work up here. All right, so that's where my corner piece is going to go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set my piece of Whisper White underneath my corner piece. All right, because my corner piece is going to be mostly for my my template to set my stamps up. So I'm going to stick this piece up in the corner of the Stamparatus and put my magnets down on my sheet of Whisper White. And again, this is why I like to work with a bigger sheet. It works for me. It might not work for you, but it works for me. All right, so I have that all lined up and ready to go. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay in my template that I made. All right, and I'm going to lay it in there, and I'm going to make sure it's square in my corner up here. And I'm just going to take a magnet, and I'm just going to stick it down somewhere. It doesn't matter to me where. I just want it not to move. Okay, so that's going to be my corner. So let me go ahead and get my stamps. And I'm going to work with this one first. All right, and what I mean by the deep well, if I set the stamp in here, okay, it's not going to move because the watercolor is a little bit thicker. So it actually falls into the well. All right, I'm going to pick it up with my Stamparatus, and then I'll be ready to stamp. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this template away for now, because I don't need it again until I set my other stamp up. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp. Now, I wasn't paying attention, and I have my plate on the wrong side, so we're going to do that again, because we're going to use the hinge method, so that means I need to be able to go down on the hinge. And that was totally my fault, because I was thinking, make sure you remember to tell them how you set it up, and I just wasn't thinking. Anyhow. All right, so we have our template laid in. We're going to go ahead and grab our door, and we're going to move our door down to start 1 notch, okay? And I'm going to show you why in a minute. So let's go ahead and lay our template in there. Let's get our magnet and hold it down, okay? Let's lay our stamp in there. Okay, and what I like about the watercolor paper is my stamp doesn't move. It's in there nice and snug, so I can go ahead and pick it up with my lid. Now, you're going to ask me why I started it 1 notch down. Well, now that I've picked up my stamp, okay, I'm going to take my template away. I'm going to take my corner away, and I'm going to move it back up. Okay, now I am set up to go ahead and start stamping using the hinge method, going all the way down. Oops, sorry, you can't see that. I apologize. Going all the way down to keep in line, because we have to be able to get up here too. All right, so let me go ahead and set these two aside, and we are going to stamp this one with the Coastal Cabana. All right, so I didn't move my paper, and again, my paper is on there, and it is bigger than what I need, but that works for me. Okay, my little tail on my duct tape is too long, so let's go ahead and stamp this one down. Okay, we'll pick it up. Great. Now I can put my magnet back down. Now we're going to move it down 1 hinge. Okay, let's go ahead and ink it up again. Stamp the next one. Okay, move it down a hinge. Ink it up again. Stamp it down, lift it up again, ink it up again, move it down a hinge. Okay, my paper is shifting, but that's okay because I'm in a corner. So I know I'm going to be putting it back in the same spot. So we're good. I know it's going to line up. Okay, let's do it. I think we have to do it 2 more times. Let's see. Yep, 2 more times. Okay. Let's ink it up again. Move it down. Ink it up again. Stamp it. Okay, I'm going to move this magnet for a second because I know it's going to be in the way. Okay, last one. I'm going to lift it up 1 more time. Put it in the hinge. And stamp it. All right, great. So that's our first one. All right, so you know we have 2 Stamparatus plates. All right, so we could put the other plate in and just put this one aside, or we can flip it over and use the back side. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to start 1 notch below so that I have space to work. I'm still going to leave that stamp on the other side because I want to make more of these later. All right, I'm going to take my corner, put my corner back. And again, this is just to line it up. So once you have it lined up and you're ready to sit down for a session, you don't need to keep doing this. I have my template marked with this little itty bitty tiny arrow right there so that I know that that's the side I am always going to put in the corner. All right, I'm going to line that up and Clearly. Come on. And clearly this worked because, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use the magnet to put that down again. All right, because now I want to light up my other stamp. So let me grab my other one, and that's going to be for these areas in here. While the stamp does fit going this way, when you stamp it, it doesn't work. So don't ask me how I figured that out. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to put this in here. Okay, it's in there nice and snug. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick it up. Okay, move that magnet back, take my corners out, move my template. All right. So now we're ready to go again. So I'm going to do this one in Lovely Lipstick. Okay, stamp it down. Come up. Oh, not enough there. I didn't push. All right, let's go ahead and go up and do our one. Remember, we started with our Stamparatus down one notch, and then this way we knew we would get it lined up in all the spots. All right, so now I'm gonna skip one and go down because I already did that one. Say get up, stamp it down again, and again I'm just using the back of the plate, so I can sit and make multiples of these today if I want to, in whatever colors I want to, because like I said, I know that my stamps are lined up right because I already sat and dry fitted them. So, you know, I get it might be a little bit of hassle at the very beginning just to dry fit everything, but totally worth it to do it once and be done with it. And then keep that template. I keep mine with my stamp and my die. All right. There we go. That should be it. All right, I'm going to move this for a moment. Let me close my ink. All right, so we have that nice grid that if we just go ahead and lay our template on top, we can see we hit it right, and all we need to do is trim down our bottom piece of paper. So I hope this helps. Again, I just wanted to show you how I do it. And now that I have it set up that way, I'll leave this plate like that until I make a bunch more because I'm making some for a swap. But it just makes it easy because now I have everything all lined up. So again, I wanted to show you guys how I use the Florentine Filigree bundle to make it work with the die, to make the stamps and the dies work together. So if you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like me to be your demonstrator, please visit me at randycollins.stampinup.net. Visit me at Randy's Crafty Creations on Facebook. You can email me, randycollins.247@gmail.com. I'll be happy to send your catalog, and I would love to go ahead and be your demonstrator. So check out my other videos. Give this one a like. Please hit the subscribe button, and I'll have more coming for you soon. So again, this is Randy from Randy's Crafty Creations. Thank you, and have a great day.